The American Bnet Invitational. These two players are both advancing to BlizzCon, and it is now one more game for $5,000.
And that's got to be pretty nerve-wracking for these two players to jump into the game. We have LiquidTeam Sheth spawning as the blue Zerg down here at the 5 o'clock position. And once again, cross-map, it's going to be Dignitas Select as the yellow Terran.
The less aggressive Select has been in the early game with his bunkerage, the better success he has had. The late game is where Select thrives. The refinement of the early game is where Sheth appears to be having his edge.
And, I mean, this is the third time you've seen these players play on this map, I believe.
They're 1-1 on this map. This will decide who would win a best of 3 just on this map.
Just on Shakar's platform.
In best of 3s, they are also 1-1. So whoever wins this will win the best of 3 of best of 3s between them.
That is a lot of stats, Sean. I can see why you are a math major. We have the depot going down at the ramp for Select. Nothing crazy going on. No 7 pulls or any shenanigans like that. This isn't Cats playing. This is LiquidTeam Sheth. He's probably going to be going for that 15 hatch once again that we have seen from him almost every single game in the TVZ matchup. And there is the scouter drone going out right at 13, a little bit earlier, but he wants to make sure exactly what his opponent is going up, or what his opponent is up against.
So it looks like this drone is going to be heading up, spreading out, just making sure that there is no 2 racks incoming. And I think for once Select is going to decide not to 2 racks, not to pressure. He's done this multiple times, and he is going to be going for an early gas. It looks like just making sure there's no Overlord here. This will allow him to send his first SCV scout out. He is not checking for a proxy hatch.
We keep throwing back to Cats because we've seen some pretty weird stuff coming out of him in the Latin American Invitational. A drone is going to be able to get into the base of Select, but it's not going to look anything out of the ordinary. It is starting to chip away at this SCV.
Uh-oh, it's down to 15 health.
Yeah.
It's getting a little bit low, but he's backing it up. He's going to be exiting the base momentarily. We do see no gas yet for LiquidTeam Sheth. We'll be throwing that down likely before the 18 food mark, and as a result, he can begin getting those Zerglings with speed. Or is he intending on powering a little harder? No, there's the extractor plopping down. Select sees everything that is up in the base. Select is moving out with Marine number 1. This is a standard, solid decision. But what about that factory? Will he be getting it and going double Hellion again?
I believe he will be, as the SCV is going to be landing, or going back inside and putting down that factory on the ground.
Landing the SCV landing as the throw back to Command and Conquer. He has jetpacks and can cliff jump. We also see a LiquidTeam Sheth getting both of his queens right away, transferring just enough drones that way he can defend against some kind of bunker rush. The double Hellion is incoming, and Select should play this off very normally. He has the time to reach the late game. Zergling busts on this map are essentially impossible, as Barracks can wall this front with ease.
Now we have seen Select every time he goes for this Hellion opening. Do you feel like he's overcommitting with the Hellions? I mean, some players will just go and poke at the natural, just try to do minimal damage. Select goes all the way in, sometimes all the way to the main base, and ultimately the queens will eventually take him out. Is that too much overcommittal, or is that just kind of how Select plays it?
Well, I mean, we've seen that in every game where Select hasn't been all overcommittal, he's been able to secure solid wins. It can never be understated the advantage you gain by having Hellions in the middle of the map, preventing Zerg from getting any good scouting up. I mean, that's what allowed Sheth to make so many Zerglings and catch Select by surprise. He saw no more Hellions were alive in the middle of the map. They couldn't deny any scouting, and Sheth could easily run up with 2 Zerglings and see that there were very few units, so he made 30 Zerglings to go kill those very few units.
First 2 Hellions have come out of that factory. Most likely will be going and denying the 2 Zerglings over here at the Zelnaga Tower. We are almost always seen from these players. Get a couple shots onto that 1 Hellion. The second Zergling is going to be taken out pretty easily. Select actually taking a lot of damage on that 1 Hellion, but he's going to be moving into the natural. The Spine Crawler will be able to get a couple pokes out. It will do a little bit of damage. But it looks like Select won't be moving in. He's going to do the old switcheroo with the factory and the, racks back at home.
And I really like this play by Select. This is the technique that all Terran players love doing on this map. If you park Hellions here, there's really not that much that a Zerg player can do about it. That's why we see the faster layers going on. This is why we see Select still trying aggressively to poke up here. And uh-oh, he's moving in and does pull back at the last second. A good decision. I always cringe when I see someone overcommit like that, and once again this drop play. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And I think Select is realizing, I better not sack these Hellions if I want to stay alive to Zerglings.
Now, I'm not sure if that was just pure luck out of Sheth, or if he was actually controlling that Spine Crawler and that Queen, but they both attacked the lowest HP unit there as the Hellions ran up, so he was able to take out that Hellion with, or one of the Hellions of that 4-pack. You see Command Center will be landing here at the natural, and an Overlord is going to see it, but it will be taken out here with these 4 Marines. It's a couple of lanes that's going across map. The Hellions thinking about going after them, but they will remain at the Zelnaga Tower.
So now it looks like Select does have that bunker full of Marines. His Marine count is finally big enough to support this big medevac play he's going to do. The medevacs promptly plop out. On Sheth's front, we see the extra geysers incoming. There's that great +1 melee upgrade. This is good for the Zerglings and the Banelings against the Marines, but it means that tanks are still killing Zergling in one hit. If you get that Carapace upgrade, it helps your Zerglings stay alive much more easily against those tanks. I think we will maybe start seeing more of that in future ZVTs.
Spire has been started. A couple more Lings are going to be popping out here as the +1 melee upgrades is about 30% complete. Combat shield started back at home in the Terran's base. Here are those 2 medevacs popping out for Select. He does have enough Marines to actually load up, I believe.
He may very well just unload and walk to the front of the Zerg base. I mean, there's no real threat of Banelings. He could just load up into the medevacs and fly to the Zerg's base.
He could do a bunch of things, Sean, but it looks like he is going to pick up into those medevacs. Maybe go and pick up these 2 Hellions. And an early third for Sheth. And not where you really expect Zergs to expand. The Lings are a little bit out of position. This drop could very well do a lot of damage, but there are Lings back at the main base of Sheth.
Ooh, and Mutalisks are almost done. We see that the empty bunker from Select is all that he has to defend there. We see the tanks now going to be able to get started, the +1 upgrade. And there he is. He's going to be dropping, but he's going to run right into a big pack of Zerglings. Will he just continue to try to unload? It looks like, yes, he's actually going to try for it, but realizing that once those Mutalisks are up, he's going to have to retreat. He will get the advantage of killing off these 2 Overlords, but he's essentially trapped up on this high ground.
He's going to be able to take out that Overlord. There's the second one that he'll be able to take out as well. Lings are making the Hellion work for it here in the center of the map as it gets caught right next to that Zelnaga Tower, and it will ultimately die. Third base has finished hatching from Sheth as 2 Queens are going to fight over who exactly is going to be the one to larva inject that. The Mutas are now going across the map. There only are 5 out on the map currently. Actually 8, but I'm not sure where the other 3 are. Those will start hammering away here at the natural expansion of Select.
I really like that Select is always getting an early third. It's so easy to convince yourself that you are about to die. Oh, he has Mutalisks out. I better get Thors and all this immediate defense back up. But Select knows that he is in safe position. And he can easily help himself stay alive. And it looks like 1 medevac is actually going to be able to make it back, and 1 Mutalisk.
Not going to die, but it did take some damage there. So is Sheth going to continue harassing with these Mutalisks, or is he going to return home? There's a full medevac loaded up here. These Mutas are making me very nervous. If they went all the way south, they would find it. And the Overlord, it does not see it, barely.
Barely misses this 1 medevac, and now Select can actually keep that tucked away and unload in this back corner at the front of Select's base. You see him stockpiling a good amount of units. He has all the upgrades. He's going for another drop. The twitching Baneling nest would lead us to believe that he is researching that Baneling speed, which we see up there, but then also Burrow and the fastest infestation pit I've seen him get yet.
It looks like Select will once again be doing that slow push with these tanks and Marines when he feels like it is time, usually waiting until about 3 or 4 tanks, I believe, and a handful more Marines. He might just wait to move this medevac with these 8 Marines until he moves out. At the same time, if we go and look at Sheth's units, he has quite a bit of mutas there. But he's also beginning to do exactly what he's done almost every time on this map, which is, of course, get a ton of Lings, get a ton of Banelings, get upgrades like Burrow, but Pathogen Glands has begun producing. I'm trying to think back. He has not had infestors out on this map this early. And the times that Select is actually engaged. Uh-oh, the mutas are going to be able to find the command center that was lifted from the main. Here come the stemmed Marines going to try and pick off some mutas. Sheth
And there's
gets
a
away.
great scan by Select, actively making certain there are no burrowed banelings. We see that there's one medevac, two medevacs just waiting patiently, biding their time. A little bit risky to leave that idle there, but man, great positioning there with those banelings. Select pushing and prodding. It looks like he will be expanding to his inner third.
It's a pretty good decision. There is only one ling there. No burrowed banelings at the ramp or anything like that. It will start chipping away at the SUV, but the medevac will be healing that up. How much energy is it actually going to use? Not too much. It is pulled away at the last second. The Marines take it out.
Couple overlords from Sheth out in the middle of the map right now. This Zergling number is increasing rapidly. 98 drones. 10 more. We are just now passing 100 lings. 67 drones out for the Zerg. 58 for the Terran. You see that there's some very, very small exchanges, and Sheth again burrowing by that watchtower. He actually has burrowed banelings planted all around the map in little trios. These three, I think, are going to be key. But a fourth and fifth base incoming. Another amazing scan by Select. He's now beginning his huge push, but let's not forget about these two drops.
Oh no, let's not forget about those infestors, Sean, as they get a big fungal growth in the center of that map. Getting a handful of Marines, those two drops. One is landing in the main.
And oh, there's some big fungal growth at the one back by the main, and the one at the natural also suffering from fungals. But the Marines have just sprinted ahead for Select. He sees that there are actually no banelings here. He gets trapped hard, but at the natural expansion, Select ripping everything apart with some brilliantly timed drops, now pulling back with these Marines. Zerglings surround, more Zerglings trying to stream up, but no, the Mutalisks will be taking it down. Select is suddenly in a lot of trouble, producing Marines 11 at a time. Perhaps if he can kill off this expansion, he'll be in good shape. But in the meantime, Select is having to rebuild huge. And the Mutalisks finally return to clean up, and it looks like Sheth has managed to stay alive for now. But not after taking a lot of damage, only one queen on the field.
Also only 46 drones. No drones at his natural. If you go look at the main, is quite a bit lower. Almost the only one that he is fully saturated at is going to be that third right outside of his main. This is Select thinking about moving out once again, but he is going to put down some missile turrets this time around. The big thing here is that those infestors and those fungals are just going to do so much damage. If we look at the production tab, the Greater Spire has been started. It is about 30% complete. And another command center as well for Select.
We see that there's a couple of drones missing from these extractors as this big attack timing by Select through Sheth off. Sheth, though, doing a great job trying to slowly rebuild these drones. He does need a couple more geysers, though. He won't quite be able to support a large number of Broodlords. 12 Marines at a time in production for Select.
Oh no, Sean, look in the middle of the map.
Oh, he gets a
down.
big fungal growth, and it looks like the healing of the medevacs is barely enough to keep everything alive for now. But we do have those two burrowed banelings still by that Xel'Naga watchtower.
And we see the mutas of Sheth somewhat baiting here. Oh, if he gets any closer, that's not going to be good. Some medevacs were just picked off, I believe.
Oh, it looks like he's going to try to pull him upward. No, looks like he doesn't quite have the angle for that. The tanks are now getting ready to siege up that natural. Two Broodlords in production. An absolutely epic game number 3 between these two players, and Sheth attacks from a terrible angle and takes massive damage.
Right now, he's going to be relying on those Broodlords. They are halfway morphed. If we look over here, the Xel'Naga Tower is definitely going to be the center focal point of this match. One siege tank is going to move up. It does get fungled immediately, and some infested Terran eggs are going to land right around it. Big fungal going onto a bunch of Marines. And now it looks like the Marine and tank force will not get picked off as a ton more Marines are going to be there to save them. Here are the Broodlords.
Another queen falls. We don't see any drops from